Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Hi guys, how are you? So, I know I said I was going to do a little video for you guys, and here I am. But what I noticed after I said I would do the video is that when we get into level 4, we're going to be talking more about the stuff that I was planning to discuss tonight. So I will discuss it a little bit, but I'm not going to go into like crazy detail because when we get into level 4, there's going to be the overview video, and then there's going to be this whole video about removing implants, removing entities, clearing demonic attachments, soul fragments retrieval, working with everyone's levels of consciousness, things like that. So I'm not quite sure why we're doing the entity implant removal activation first. It really doesn't matter, but I think that's what threw me off, the fact that we're doing the implant removal, and I'm like, I haven't told them about that yet. So basically, you can have, implants, you can have entities, you can have different things attached to your energy, okay? And it can come in different ways, and I talked a little bit about this when we did the channeling energy exercises and practices and all of that, but I just want to like kind of tell you again, because I know not everybody hears every part of every video and not everybody remembers every part. So basically, when we interact with people, we have energy, okay? And if you are dealing with somebody in a negative way, the energy that you're sending back and forth, those little cords that you're creating, are going to be kind of, draining. They're going to be low vibrational. They're not going to be good. Now, what I find tends to happen is that if you have this issue with somebody and you have these negative cords and you never cut those cords and you never really think about those cords because you're not aware of them, or you just weren't really thinking about it, what happens over time is that it can start to become an attachment, and it gets bigger, you know what I mean? So it's just like a bigger version of the cord. Some people call it a hook, when like that energy is now hooked into you. It would be harder than just cutting it away. You would have to kind of do a little bit of work to get rid of that person's energy. So an attachment is like the second part of it, where I feel, it's a manifestation of something negative that you didn't give attention to, and instead allowed it to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and maybe even fed it with your, negative thoughts and your attitude towards a particular person. And then I find that sometimes what can happen or transpire from there is when people start to see like demons, or they start to see, entities in their home, or they have things going on. And for me, I've noticed that a lot of people who I've dealt with, specifically for me, it's always tied back to sexual trauma. That this person had been sexually abused as a child, never told nobody, never had anything done with it, was never processed, just, was in shame, guilt, fear, doubt, all of those negative vibrations and emotions for the rest of her life. And then, as she gets older, she has kids of her own, she's nervous about that, those kids having happened to what happened to her. And so starts to manifest this big scary demon into the house. And it starts, you hear it walking up and down the hall, and you hear it doing things, and you can't sleep at night, and then sleep, deprivation pops in there, because now the person's not sleeping. They've manifested this thing into their life, which I do believe that it's a real thing that you've manifested, but you've manifested it, so you can unmanifest it. You just need to probably, do a little work and face whatever it is inside of you, like trauma. Again, I've had more than one woman come to me with the sexual abuse history that has turned into a demon. And I actually did like a whole thing where I had to like get it out of her. And we're going to talk more about that with levels of consciousness and things to that nature, but everybody's different. So that's where, these entities can come from. So you may have one that hangs around, but isn't necessarily attached to you in a way that's like, you're not like possessed. You're not like, but who knows, maybe, like, I didn't, the woman that I had on my table and I did the exorcism with, like, she came in my house normal, she got on my table, and she was no longer normal. Her hands were like this, and crystals were flying and breaking, and it was just, it was intense, and nobody was there except for me and the dogs. The dogs did not make a sound. The dogs always bark, especially if someone's screaming, especially if things are breaking. They were just like, oh my god. They didn't move, nothing happened, they didn't do nothing. We got it out, but what happened after we got it out was it stayed around in my home, and I was alone at that time. So the reason why it stayed was because of my fear. It had gone into the vortex. It had, gone out of the room. It had left the situation, and she was back to normal. But then she left, and I'm home alone, and my dad wasn't coming back, and like my brother was staying somewhere, and like it was a new house, and it was just kind of like, okay, I'm alone now, and I'm freaked out because that whole situation was crazy, and I'd never really dealt with that before, to that extent. I've had people twitch and stuff, but not be like, ah! So I think my fear manifested this thing coming back. So you can manifest entities into your life too out of fear. If you're afraid of an entity, if you're afraid of a demon, if you're afraid of whatever, they feed on fear. They want you to be afraid. So that is one of the ways that you can really like attract these things in, is by fear, or by grief, or by resentment, or by anything that's lower vibrational. To get rid of them, we can do things like this, where we, scan the energies, and we clear the energies, we activate, do all these things. But just shifting your focus and your thoughts and not going to a place of fear, like standing in your power and saying, like, I demand that you leave. If you know that something's going on, like if you can just kind of sense it, like I know when there's something in my room with me, and I know if it's good or not. And I never have anything negative anymore come around. And if I do, it's like it doesn't even come close. It's like there's like a perimeter. It's like not allowed in. So I don't get scared anymore. And I think that makes a big difference for people, is if you're scared, or if you're, whatever. So try to be whatever about it. Try to be more confident. Try to say, like, this is my house. You're not welcome here. I demand that you leave now. Those are ways to get rid of entities. And then with the other part of this we're going to be doing is getting rid of your, if you have any implants. So implants for me basically come from maybe not so good star beings. Okay, so we have the great star beings, and then we have the not so great star beings. And think about how this like whole like let's microchip everybody plan has been rolling out on Earth. I feel that for many people you kind of have this energetic implant that has been placed into you. It could have been in the time of Atlantis, it could have been in the time of Lemuria, it could have been in the time that you were living in Sirius, or you were living in the Pleiades, or you were living wherever. And it could have been given to you by like Orion, or it could have been given to you by somebody in control. It could have been just somebody that wasn't having the best intentions maybe. And even in saying that, sometimes you can get an implant and it's like it was just an implant, like maybe they didn't mean for it to be harmful, or maybe it was meant to be good at that time, but now that we're evolving, now that we're growing, now that we're ascending, a lot of those things are no longer necessary. We don't want those types of things inside of us because they can be limiting. They can keep you from, turning on all the way. They can keep you from knowing what your purpose is, or feeling confident enough to go pursue it. They can keep you from, turning on your crown fully so that you can absorb and receive the light codes, the information, and the wisdom that's trying to come in. So getting rid of a little, implant that is on you anywhere is most likely going to be beneficial, and is probably going to help to release any type of blocks that you could have, or any type of limitations that you might have. I'm hearing that you could have some that are connected to beliefs. Like you could have literally been implanted with belief systems that, in a way, it's like it was an implant, but it was more so, it was, some of you, it was implanted like intentionally. People, like, they wanted you to believe that. And then others of you, it's like implanted on a level of it's been passed down through generation after generation. So your ancestors believed XYZ, so now you kind of believe XYZ, and that makes it hard for you to do something. So say that your great great grandfather thought that, you know, money was the root of all evil. It's the root of all evil. It's horrible. It's bad. Do you think it's going to be very easy for him to manifest money? No. And do you think it's going to be very easy for you on a genetic line to be able to manifest money? No. So you need to get rid of those beliefs that aren't even yours, which are on ancestral, you know, levels and all of that. But anything that's been implanted into you like that, that's what we're going to be getting rid of. So, you know, even while we go through this, we'll probably give you a few moments to like think of like, what are you thinking? What are you believing that needs to be released? Or what do you have like energetically that needs to be released? What do you have, you know, spiritually or emotionally, whatever, like whether it's a entity, whether it's a implant, you know, it's not going to be like a crazy long, like, let's do every inch of you. I just want to, you know, cover it all, say everything that needs to be said in order to encompass everything, and then get rid of the stuff. And then next time we discuss things together, the next video is going to be a scanning energy and labeling energy meditation. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that real quick. It's going to be you scanning you, okay? Because who do you know better than you? You. So what you're going to do in the next meditation, which is a free meditation, everybody's going to be able to watch it, is basically scan your own energy. So you can be doing it sitting, or you can be doing it laying down, or you can even do it standing if you want to. It's not going to be like a crazy in-depth, like, let me take you into another dimension, get you really relaxed and fall asleep type of meditation, because I want you to be aware so that you can scan your own energy. And you guys have seen me do this if you've watched the videos. Like when somebody's on the table, you scan their energy and you look for imperfect places. You feel like, did it dip or did it go over? Did it feel like a block? Did it feel hot? Did it feel cold? Did you just know that there's something there? Did you hear something? Did you see something? You know, because everybody's different. So that's what the next meditation is going to be about, is about you scanning your own energy from like your crown all the way down to your root, and finding any places that are no good, and then intuitively figuring out like, all right, like this feels weird to me. You know, what is it? Is it unbalanced in a way that it's like overactive, or is it unbalanced in the way that it's underactive? And then when you get your answers, you know, make mental note of them. And then afterwards, I want you to research and Google and figure out, like, does that sound like me? You know, like if you were thinking, okay, this kind of feels underactive, or this feels low, or this feels kind of weird, and then you go Google what like the symptoms of the crown chakra being underactive, or, you know, whatever you get, see if it matches up, because that's going to help you to be like, okay, so I was either right or I was wrong. And if you were right, great. If you were wrong, you're just going to flip it, because it would be the opposite thing. So go read the opposite thing, and then you'll know from now on that when you feel that weird thing that you felt, or see that thing that you saw, or heard that thing that you heard, that's going to be Spirit's way of indicating to you that it's an overactive area or it's an underactive area based off of what you get. But it takes time and it takes practice. So I would recommend doing that meditation more than once, you know, and not overwhelming yourself. Even if you need to, you know, go into a light meditation and then just write down notes throughout it. Like, okay, like, you know, I feel this about my crown. I feel this about this. You know, just if you feel something, because sometimes everything will be fine. And then all of a sudden you'll get here and you'll be like, it won't move. And it's like, okay, the throat chakra could be blocked. Let me go Google real quick. What does a blocked throat chakra manifest as? And if it's like, oh, yeah, it kind of sounds like me right now, then you'll know that that's what it feels like to be blocked. If it feels differently, you know, go with the flow. So that's going to be the next video. And then we're going to be done with level 4 and going into level 4's overall energy there. And we're going to check in and just basically go over the plan for level 4. But I just wanted to double check with you guys, because I know not everybody watches all of the video to the end. So I want to make sure everybody's doing their homework. We had, this was the whole level was about your solar plexus and wearing and eating yellow. This was also the one where we connect with the divine masculine energy to pursue, to protect, to provide what we want in life and our wants, in doing that in meditation, like going into our meditation and it's like, what do I want? How am I going to pursue it? How am I going to get it? Where am I going to go? How am I going to manifest this? And what actions can I take? What things can I do? How can I get this going? And then affirming confidence and finding inner strength. So things that make you feel confident, like I am beautiful, I am smart, I am courageous, I am happy, I am this, I am that, whatever it is. Make some affirmations, and find your inner strength to believe those things, because again, your beliefs are very important. If you don't believe these types of things, you're gonna manifest some shitty shit. And then we had practice meditation and soul retrieval for another galactic lifetime. So if you have not done that yet, that's something you guys were meant to do. Is basically, we've already done a soul retrieval, okay? So you can go listen to the soul retrieval again, and then do it for yourself, or just go listen to it again if you really want. But I want you guys to get into the habit of being able to be the practitioner. I want you guys to be able to be the one that's going to be guiding somebody else to do this in the future. You can go to places. I used to go to yoga studios, and I'd have it depended on how many people came. It was sometimes 7 people, sometimes 30 people. And I would be there and I would play the bowl and I would do the drum and I would guide these people on the same type of thing that I now guide all of you guys on. So you can literally start, using what I'm giving to you in your day-to-day life and becoming, somebody that offers these things to other people. A soul retrieval is always something that is good for people. And if you can practice it on yourself and you can retrieve some information about another galactic lifetime that you lived, and if you can't find a galactic lifetime, that's okay. Find another lifetime, wherever it is, however it manifests. Just go through the motion. I would recommend, listening to the one that I recorded. It's a free meditation on the channel. And it wasn't too far back, but I would listen to that again, go through it with my voice. Maybe don't go deep into meditation, but pay attention to when I say something, or when I guide for something, or when I stop, how long I stop for. Because that's the biggest part with meditation, is you don't want to be okay, now here we go, just really fast and making it difficult for someone to follow. Give them time to see what it is that they're going to see, or to connect with what it is they're going to connect with. Then last week we did the whole energy practices. So you guys are supposed to be practicing energy balls, seeing auras, running energy, scanning yourself, scanning others, and identifying blocks and clearing them. So I want you guys to use your intuition with that, okay? If you don't know what you're doing, it's I showed you more than once, because I know I did the video when I was up here and I had this table set up and I was this is how we do a healing session. And then I did the one down there with my real table and it's this is how we do this. So if you feel a block, what I do is I gather that energy and I will reach in and grab it, pull it, and I throw it, right? But we don't want to throw it willy-nilly. We don't want to just throw it at somebody. We want to throw it, into a trash. Imagine that there's a trash there that's going to transmute it, so that you're not throwing negative block crappy energy out into somebody else's energy field, or your own energy field, or whatever. Some people pretend that the violet flame is there and that's just going to transmute whatever you toss. But I just imagine that I'm gathering and grabbing whatever it is that's blocked and pulling it out. And sometimes it takes a few times. Sometimes I need to play the drum over it. Sometimes I need to do the singing bowl. Sometimes I need a crystal where I'll take the crystal, and sometimes you can do psychic surgery with a crystal. It's and then you sew it back together when you're done. It's however you feel guided to do, with whatever tool you feel guided to do it with, is really the best advice I can give you, because everybody heals differently, and everybody, if you just go with it, even if you feel like a weirdo, even if you feel like you're just a little kid making it up, that's the best energy to be in, is just have fun with it, enjoy yourself, because that's when you're not thinking about it, and that's when you're not, blocking yourself to the healing energies that flow through you. So just go with your intention, go with whatever feels right, and practice those things that we talked about in the last video for the practices. And then I want you guys to now journal on the difference between entities, attachments, and cords. you can allow your own soul to inform you. So I've already kind of given you this information more than once now. You should have your own idea about what the difference is and how maybe they manifest to you. Maybe to you it's only if somebody's been physically abused, you know, like that they were hit, so now they have, you know, some crazy demon thing that follows them around. As healers, you're going to find that certain things come to you, certain people come to you, certain things manifest into your reality like over and over and over, and it's like, why do I keep getting people like this, or why do I keep having that? But there's usually some sort of connection. I know, like, my connection, but basically you'll figure it out. And a lot of times healers have healed what they're helping other people to heal. So, like, if you've suffered with addiction, you may get a lot of addicts. If you have suffered with, you know, being, like, up and down with your weight or any type of, like, eating disorder, you may get a lot of people with that. It basically is like attracts like, and if you're healed vibration, you've actually risen out of whatever it is that you were in, you can offer help to those people. Spirit will guide them to you. So just know that, okay? And then just make sure you guys have been doing your affirmations daily. That is so important for manifesting. Say no without guilt. And then pursue your dreams, protect yourself, and provide to yourself. So what is it that you want? Provide it to yourself. What do you want to have, you know, manifest for your dreams? Pursue them. Go chase after them. I've been doing crazy stuff. Like, I'm like, you know what? I want to do this, and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to do it. And I'm, like, ordering stuff and going crazy. And, like, I don't even know if I have enough time to do the things I want to do, but I just make the time to do the things I want to do and do them when I want to do them. And people seem to understand that I'm busy, and they, you know, go with the flow of things not always being immediately available to them. But you've got to sometimes put yourself first for your manifesting. And I am almost done with a 30-page, like, it's a tarot oracle journal, and basically it's 30 days, and every day there's something different, and we're going to pull cards every day, and we're going to do something different every day that's going to help you with manifesting, help you with healing, and it's a PDF download. So there's a lot of pages there, there's a lot of information there. Almost done with it. This is the one for healing yourself. This is the one for manifesting union with yourself. There is going to be another one for twin flame union, but I gotta go over that one again and see if I can bring the cards into that, because I didn't do the cards with that one. This one I did. But I think it's going to be fun, because we're going to pull oracle cards or tarot cards, whatever you're comfortable with, and we're going to journal, and we're going to do exercises, and I'm going to go through the whole process, you know, with you. Like, I write to you every single day and talk to you every single day and give you details every single day. If you've bought the manifesting journal or the manifesting planner on Etsy right now for like $5, that's like a fraction of what this is, okay? There's tons of information inside of it, and a lot of different activities that we're going to be doing. I haven't figured out the price yet. I still gotta, like, make it into the computer, because I wrote it by hand, but it is coming, and I know a lot of people will benefit from it for manifesting abundance and for healing and for ascending and all of that. So I guess I will see you guys, not in the next video, but in the one after that. I will be doing the overview for level 4. Imune. Namaste.